All right, Barakatah Hawa, Barakatah Hawasai, Barakatah Hawa, Barakatah Hawasai, Barakatah Hawa, Barakatah Hawasai, Bahasura Hakadas. I want to give double honor to our apostles, great millstone, we well, and peace and blessing to the house David the elect. Our name is the high spirit, we in Judah. All right, today I want to go into a crystal called Selenite. All right, this is what we're going to be getting into today. All right, and before I get into that, I want to get the scripture. It's Sirach 39 to 21, just to set the foundation. All right, Sirach 39 and 21. A man need not to say, "What is this? Wherefore is that?" For he hath made all things for their uses. So before one, and that destroys that misconception that we're conditioned to have in this Western empire. All right, in Esau's world, when we look at herbs, all right, we look at gemstones, or you might even look at certain ways of eating, and you just think it's some cute little bandana around my head, little dashiki hippie stuff. All right, no, this is the original way that man, ultimately the nation of Israel, sustained himself. All right, on a physical level. All right, along with prayer, fasting, aligning ourselves up with the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right, because what really activates the herbs, what really activates the elements, all right, that the Most High put inside of things such as crystals, all right, gemstones, is prayer. Prayer to Yahweh Bashim Shai. So I'm gonna read that again. Sirach 39 and 21. A man need not to say, "What is this? Wherefore is that?" For he have made all things for their usage. So all things have their uses, including what we see today. And this is called a selenite crystal. All right, selenite. All right, goes back to the Greek word selene. All right, which goes back to the word moon, or it means moon. And you remember the singer Selena. All right, but they're going back to the goddess of the goddess of the moon, and she had that vibration on her. She had that idolatrous vibration on her that she was worshipped. All right, because the moon is a feminine word, and it basically goes into like the attributes of the moon is like feminine beauty, or nurturing like a woman. All right, and with selenite, it has nurturing, calming properties. Okay, so that's what I'm going to get into. I'm going to get into the properties of selenite. All right, and I'm gonna try to make it pretty concise. All right, I'm gonna start out with the book, Essential Guide to Crystals. All right, wrong way. Essential Guide to Crystals. I think I'm have it upside down. Working with this camera. There we go. I think Essential Guide to Crystals. It's a lock for that. But this is the book that I sometimes use. All right, and it goes into selenite. I'm just gonna get a few points from it. All right, it says well, the problem was I didn't have a camera flip. Yeah, Essential Guide to Crystals, and it says get some key points. Named after Selene, the Greek goddess of the moon, because of its luminous moonlight glow. Selenite is a gem quality form of the common mineral gypsum. Gypsum was formed by the evaporation of ancient seas and sea salt lakes, and selenite hints at its origins both in its watery, clear beauty and its extreme solubility. All right, and let me see if I can just get some points. It says practical ideas. Holding a natural crystal wand of selenite can help to purge the day's tensions as well as painful memories that are difficult to release. And this is actually true. All right. If you're haunted by memories, or you've been engaged in things that just constantly troubling your mind or playing over your mind, you can literally hold a selenite stick, or what I just showed you earlier, in your hand, and it almost erases unclean thoughts. All right, it almost erases unclean thoughts, man. And it's like something like Elder Kazak said. All right, it's these gemstones like Yahweh Shemal Shai's technology. All right, and if you got like a negative vibration on you, a negative spirit on you, you feel kind of icky or unclean. All right, for whatever reason, All right, holding selenite stick in your hand and lying down or praying, all right, to help clear out your spirit, man. Sort of hit the reset on your spirit. Like it's like whiteout. Like you might write something that you don't want to write on a sheet of paper. Like, nah, I shouldn't have written that. I should not have written that. Or you put some whiteout on top of it. So selenite is like a spiritual whiteout. All right. Holding a natural crystal wand of selenite can help to purge the day's tensions as well as painful memories that are difficult to release. Imagine breathing in through the top of your head, then breathing out along the wand. All right. So that's pretty much the main point. It says healing functions. Quickly unblocks stagnant energy with this rapidly flowing and cooling energy, shifts negative emotions, especially resentment and long-standing anger, brings clarity of mind, expands consciousness. All right. So now that you see what it does on a spiritual level, all right, let's get some of the mental, not mental, the physical benefits of selenite, man. The Most High is beautiful, man. It's so amazing because the Most High has a gemstone where He has something in the earth for every imbalance that you have, for everything that's imbalancing you. All right, even if you think it is something that the Most High doesn't even deal with, or He wouldn't deal with that type of situation, He has gemstones for that, man. Okay. All right. It says this is the website Terms of Light. All right. It says what is selenite, which we went into that with the other book about crystals. All right. And I'm just going to get the main point from the second paragraph. All right. As a matter of fact, just for the sake of edification, I just read the whole thing. It says selenite provides for clarity of the mind. And see, one thing you have to understand too, every gemstone is color coded, or you could pretty much hint at what it's used to is by what color it is. All right, and selenite is basically classified as a white crystal. All right, and white goes back to purity. It goes back to purging. All right, it goes back to purifying, and white crystals kind of help purify your spirit. All right, it says selenite provides for clarity of the mind, expanding one's awareness of the self and one's surrounding. It opens the crown and higher chakras and accesses angelic consciousness and higher guidance. It can be used to access past lives as well as future lives. Now, I don't know about all that, but one thing with these crystals, all right, is you kind of extrapolate how you deal with your information. Extrapolate means to sort of take out what is needed for edification, but leave the questionable stuff for the stuff that's not really important behind, all right? It says it can be used to access past lives as well as future lives. Selenite is a calming stone that instills deep peace, and is excellent for meditation or spiritual work. So selenite is basically like this little sphere. All right, that's like the moon in itself. Selenite basically has the attributes of the moon. That's why it's so calming. All right. It says selenite is a calming stone that instills deep peace and excellent for meditation or spiritual work. It assists judgment and insight. It clears confusion and aids in seeing the deeper picture. Selenite aligns the spinal column and promotes flexibility. Now, this is the physical aspects of it. Selenite aligns the spinal column and promotes flexibility. So if you have a spinal cord, you have a spinal issue, selenite helps you to become more flexible. It corrects deformities of the skeletal system and can stabilize epileptic disorders. So if you have epileptic disorders, you might want to consider adding selenite to your arsenal. It is used to improve disorders associated with metal poisoning due to teeth fillings. It can reverse the effects of free radicals in the cell structure. All right. So it could deal with improve disorders associated with metal poisoning, like you get the mercury in your teeth. All right, it's like a metal poisoning. All right, selenite helps reverse those effects of metal poisoning. It said it can also reverse the effects of free radicals in the cell structure. Effects that can be overcome include cancer, tumors. So selenite can help reverse the effects of cancer, tumors, age spots, wrinkles, and light sensitivity. Hey, the Most High is bad, man. So, in short, all right, selenite is a spiritual detoxer, is a spiritual cleanser. or it can be its attributes can be identified by its color, and its color is white. And white is like in the crystal world, white is like a purifier. All right, it's like a cleanser. It's like taking a spiritual shower. All right, but in the mental sense, in the physical sense, excuse me. All right, it helps with your spinal problems. All right, it helps with deformities in your skeletal system. It can help with epileptic disorders. It can improve disorders associated with metal poisoning due to teeth fillings. It can reverse the effects of free radicals in cell structure. All right. Hey, the Most High is bad, man. All right. So, like I said, and people use selenite. And they'll put it on top of their doorposts. Or you can put selenite on top of your doorpost, and it's supposed to basically prevent unclean energy or unclean spirits are from entering into your tabernacle, man. And they'll put a balance of like selenite and tourmaline. All right, and that's your yin and the yang energy, man. But it basically cleanses out the energy in your room. You know how you got the little plug-in fragrance sensors, man? Little plug-in little odors, right? Well, selenite is like a spiritual plug-in. All right, so if you put it on top of your doorpost, man. All right, like I said, if you have problems with sleep, you can use selenite by your bed. All right, selenite by your bed. All right, if you've downloaded unclean information, downloaded filthy information, you feel like your spirit or your mind has a lot of filth in it, you can lay down with selenite, and eventually you will probably see white inside of your mind's eye, and that's the cleansing agents, the cleansing agent or the cleansing attribute of selenite, man. It cleanse out that filth inside of your spirit, man. The Most High is so beautiful. All right. So once again, selenite goes back to the word Selene, which goes back to moon goddess, which we don't deal with goddess, but that's the meaning of the word. All right, basically it deals with moon. All right, and it's a cleanser, and just like the attributes of a moon is very calming. All right, is nurturing. All right, but that's pretty much the point. You know, another bringing out information on another tool that the Most High uses for the benefit of the elect, ultimately the nation of Israel. But I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, double honor to our apostles, great millstone as well. Peace and blessed to the house of David the elect. With that, Abba Ba, Kumya Allah, and Shalom.